Okay, factoring by decomposition part 2. Okay, I want you to know that I often keep my calculator handy because sometimes, you know what, when I'm making my little chart of factors like I was here, we're going to get some bigger numbers, and sometimes it's just nice, like have a calculator, right? Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so the first thing you should notice here is, wow, I've got a greatest common factor. So that's what I always do first. I take out my greatest common factor, which is going to be 2, and I'm left with 2x squared plus x minus 10. Okay, now I'm going to circus tent it. I'm going to get that my product's got to be negative 20. My sum has to be positive 1. So writing down my factors. Okay, can't make this add up to 1, can't make this add up to 1. This one I can, okay? And I can do that by making the 4 negative. Negative 4 times 5, negative 20. Negative 4 plus 5, positive 1. Okay, remembering that I'm going to need to write down my greatest common factor after, and I'm going to start by decomposing this. 2x squared minus 4x plus 5x minus 10. I've got 4 factors, so I remind myself that that's factoring by grouping. What can I take out of here? A 2 and an x. I'm left with x minus 2. This starts with a positive. What do 5x and negative 10 have as a greatest common factor? 5x minus 2. Okay, reintroducing the greatest common factor. I write that down as my first factor. My second factor is x minus 2. My last factor is the stuff on the outside of the brackets. And that, boys and girls, is how you do factoring by decomposition, and I would think that that would be one of the harder ones because we have a greatest common factor. Okay, let's go over here. First thing I'm going to check is there a greatest common factor? And in this case, there isn't. Okay, 3 and 12, yes, but 5, no. So we're going to set it up. Product is going to be negative 36, and my sum is going to be negative 5. Factors of 36, 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 goes in there 12 times, 4 goes in there 9 times, and then 6 and 6. 1 and 36 I can't get out of, negative 5, 2 and 18 won't work, 3 and 12, 4 and 9 though, bingo. Okay, and it has to add up to negative 5, so I'll make the larger factor the negative. I'm going to come back over here, and I want to put the 9 with my 3. That's what I want to do, okay? But I'm going to push through the pain here, and I'm going to write them down in the order that I wrote it. Okay, so plus 4x minus 9x minus 12. And again, I'm going to double check, did I pick the right 2 factors? I did. I have 4 factors, which is factoring by grouping. Squiggly line. Now 3x squared and 4x will only share an x, and I'm left with 3x plus 4. This started with a negative. 9x and 12 share a greatest common factor of 3. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. Negative divided by a negative is also a positive. So if I had put the negative 9x here and the 4x here, what would have happened is in the brackets it would have said x minus 3, and on the outside it would have said 3x plus 4. Now it's just reversed, so it's not a big deal, right? 3x plus 4. So in these factoring questions, it's always going to work out like that at this level. Okay, and there's your final answer. Let's move on. Okay, we got 7x squared minus 26x minus 8. So times table in here. Product's going to be negative 56, and the sum's going to be negative 26. Here we go, 1 and, 56, 2 and 28. And I'm going to stop myself right there because I'm starting to get into the rhythm of these things, and I can kind of see right now, wow, I don't have to keep going with my factors. I know that I can make 2 and 28 add up to negative 26 by making this one negative. So now I'm going to move over here, remembering that the first term I don't touch. Okay, I'm going to put the plus 2x together, negative 28x minus 8 together, and now I'm going to squiggly line it. What comes out of 7x squared and 2x? Simply an x, and I'm left with 7x plus 2. I'm going to take out a negative. What can I take out of 28 and 8? You have to be good at your times tables. The answer is going to be a 4, right? And a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Same here, plus 2, and lo and behold, these two worked out, so you can be pretty sure that you're right. 7x plus 2 and x minus 4, and remembering, you could write down the x minus 4 first and the 7x plus 2, that doesn't matter. 4 times 5 is the same as 5 times 4. Okay, here we are. Here's another situation where we're going to have a greatest common factor, and the biggest number that comes out of 12x squared, 6x, and 18 is a 6. 2x squared minus x minus 3. And now we are going to Circus tent this, we're going to get a product of -6 and a sum of -1. Remember that there is an invisible 1 sitting in front of there. Factors of 6, 1 and 6, 2 and 3. How are we going to make these factors somehow add up to -1? 1 and 6 will not do it. 2 and 3, though, I can make a negative. Okay, so I'm going to circle this. Remember that I'm going to put it back in my final answer. 2x squared stays the same, plus 2x minus 3x minus 3. Going to squiggly line it. I can take out a 2 and an x, and I'm left with x plus 1. I'm going to take out a negative. It leads with a negative. I can take out a 3, x plus 1, because a negative divided by a negative. Okay, reintroduce my greatest common factor as my first factor, x plus 1, and then 2x minus 3 as my last factor. Okay, nearing the finish line. Stay with me. We cannot take out a greatest common factor. 13 will not allow us to do that. So here we go. Product's going to be a positive 36. Sum's going to be a negative 13. Okay, so 1 and 36 won't work. 2 and 18. Other factors of 36, 4 and 9. 6 and 6. What else goes in there? Oh, we missed one. 3 and 12. Is there any way we're going to get these to add up to -13? You bet. -4 and -9. Because we need a negative times a negative to get back to this positive 36. Okay, so here we go. Breaking it down. 6x squared minus 4x minus 9x plus 6. I can take out a 2x. I'm left with 3x minus 2. This starts with a negative. I'm going to take out a -3. I'm left with 3x minus 2. And now we've got that common bracket, 3x minus 2 as one of my factors, and 2x minus 3 on the outside. Whew, last question. Here we go. Circus tent it. Product is now 20. Sum is now 9. Factors of 20. 1 and 20. 2 and 10. 4 and 5. And now you should be getting to the point now where 4 and 5 is just going to hop out at you. Hey, that adds up to 9. Decomposing 2x squared plus 4x plus 5x plus 10. Squiggly line it. I got a 2 and an x. X plus 2. I can take out a 5. X plus 2. Brackets that are the same. And 2x plus 5. Okay, that's the rest of your assignment, right? So now you can revisit these videos if you like, or you can go straight to your assignment and you can give that a whirl. I will be posting the answer key that looks like this with all of the work done. So it's not just the answer, so that if you didn't figure out where you went wrong, you can sort of backtrack on my work and take a look. And remember, you can text me or shoot me a comment on the Google Classroom. Okay, so this is the tough stuff. We'll revisit it again on Monday. Have a great weekend, you guys. And again, I just miss you tremendously.